These days, folks involved with hunting tend to be a bit judgmental. People say things like, "That buck isn't big enough. Should have given him a few more years." They say you should walk a mile in a man's shoes before passing judgment. Well, you're about to walk a bit farther in mine. Western Maryland. It's made up of 3 counties, or what the Department of Natural Resources calls Region A. It's a more restricted section of Maryland due to its lower deer population. Briefly put, it's not the most popular destination for deer hunters in Maryland. Its terrain is tough and the mountains are steep. However, this small section of Maryland holds 40% of the public land the state has to offer. It means adventure is easy to find, and I enjoy a more remote hunting experience. It's not an easy hunt. You'll have to work for it. Like most hunters, my season starts way before opening day. Scouting starts well before even now, but at this point, I'm constantly thinking about opening day. I'm quickly running out of time to get things in order before September. But beyond the obvious hunting benefits, scouting presents an opportunity to get your non-hunting friends and family into the woods.
You're not my friend right now, Christopher. Alright, come on, buddy.
Definitely not ideal. Getting people into the woods and creating memories makes this season successful, and it hasn't even officially started yet. There are a few days throughout the year that really stand out. Christmas, New Year's, probably your birthday. For a hunter, it's overwhelmingly opening day. We work hard to try and gather enough information about our hunting areas to have an idea where the deer are going to be. This year, I'm still kind of guessing. I knew where the deer were, but there was no real pattern. So we just went for it, constantly learning as the early season progressed. My father had the freedom to hunt more often with me this year, so we had 2 sets of boots on the ground to gather more information. In Western Maryland, we get 2 deer tags for the whole archery deer season. One for a buck and one for a doe. The season goes from early September to January 31st. There are many reasons I hunt. At the top of the list, clean, organic meat is number 1. So I always try and start my season by filling the freezer. I would be super excited to get an opportunity at a nice mature doe. That task is easier said than done. I found a spot that has loads of deer sign. The trail camera has shown some deer movement, but nothing crazy. Lots of does and even a couple of bucks have been in the area. I'll sit all afternoon till dark and try and fill a tag. This afternoon became one of the best hunts of the year. I had a doe come in close. But then she spooked. It took me a second to realize she ran over to another group of does that were also coming in close. Then another group. Finally, right before last light, a healthy doe gave me an opportunity. The shot was perfect. I knew she was down. Finding her in the dark, however, would prove to be a bit more difficult. The direction she went was so thick, blood was hard to find. Eventually we found her. Now the work would begin. We had a 1.5 mile drag out, and then success. Now the greatest chess match would begin. Time to find a buck. This is my favorite time of year to hunt bucks. The build up, peak, and drawdown of the rut is a super exciting time to be in the woods. Dad and I both were seeing bucks, only the bucks were winning the chess match. I passed shot opportunities on several younger bucks. It's hard to take a young buck when you know there are monsters hiding in these woods. I won't hesitate to take a younger buck for meat, but right now, I've still got my early season doe in the freezer. She's like a frozen delicious savings account. The rut is here in full swing, and I've had some very close encounters. The bucks moved through my areas right before camera light, just out of bow range. They didn't get this big by being stupid. I'm not a purist. Traditional bow hunting is my passion. But I'll hunt with a gun, especially when my super delicious frozen savings account is getting low. I shot a half-racked buck with a rifle at about 40 yards. If I'm going to call myself a meat hunter, I might as well prove it. Now that my freezer was once again full, I could return to my earlier strict standards for choosing a buck to take with my bow. But before bow season comes back in, there's another 2-week muzzleloader season right after rifle season. I enjoy late muzzleloader. There's hardly anyone in the woods. I make it challenging, just like bow hunting. I had a real close call during the season, but I was more excited to get back to bow hunting. It's finally bow season again, but now the odds are definitely stacked against me. Our gun seasons make up an overwhelming portion of our deer harvest. I'm sure there are plenty of bucks left. They're just harder now than ever to come by. I wish I had a doe tag because I'm seeing lots of does. Very few shot opportunities though. This late season hunting is the toughest hunting of the year. I would go on to hunt every day I had off until the end of the season. Walking a total of 163 miles. I never filled my archery buck tag. My season was more than the tags I filled. I got way more from this season than knowledge. I learned so much and filled 2 tags. That's true. But that's not why this was my favorite season by far. Despite the premise of this film, it's not about the number of miles walked either. I think now that you've walked 163 miles in my shoes, you'll realize it's not about the number of miles. It's about the quality of miles. It also has a lot to do with who you've shared those miles with. I look forward to the miles, memories, and adventure that awaits me next season.